Okay, in this here video I'm just going to make a simple blueprint class that is going to be a door. When you walk into it, it opens, and when you walk out of its area, it closes basically. So let me just get rid of these lights in my scene. And I'm going to make a new blueprint class down here. It's going to be an actor class, and we're going to call it a door. Okay. Open it up, put it in here. Now we do need a few components in here. The first one that we need is actually a door model. Handy enough, in the meshes folder, I have a door, okay? You can drag and drop this in to component section and it will name it, pretty handy. Another way that you can do it is if you go to add component and type in static mesh, just get static mesh. Because I've selected door in my thingy here, it recognizes that and it makes a door. Another way that you can do it is if you don't have it selected, type in static mesh. You can see I don't have it selected, so not saying door, type in door, and then here where it's asking me to select one, I'll just search for door and I'll put that in. There we go. So there's a few ways you can do it, drag and drop or whatever. Now I do need another component. I can just, it's a box mesh, so like the light where you walk, or the light switch where you walk into it, we can get a collision. You can see because I had door selected when I made this, it's now made the component a child of it, okay? Which isn't great. Not what I wanted at the minute. Basically what happens is if I move the door, the box moves with it, and I kind of want them independent of them, so of themselves. So what I'm going to do is add a component, making sure I've got nothing else selected in here. Type in box, and you can see now that it's not a child of it, and whenever I move the door, it doesn't move this. So I can move this here in and scale it, and this is going to be an area of where the player walks into, the door is going to either open or close. Now I do want to make this fairly big. You might not realize, like how close this is to the door when you're in first person mode, but you can imagine I'm inside the box now, and this is where it started opening. I probably want it a wee bit bigger than that, maybe something like this here, okay? But you can eyeball it, it's up to yourself. So my scale's like 11, 3, 3.5, something like that. And then with the box selected, I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to have an begin overlap. Again, select the box. I'm going to have an end overlap as well. Again, like the light one, we're going to cast to first person character, and we're going to make sure it is our first person character that is overlapping with it and nothing else. Like, because you could fire a bullet into this box area and the door would open. So we just want to check that it is the player or not. And then if it is the player, what we're going to do is we're going to create a timeline. And this is going to call door rotation. Oh, I spelled that wrong. Damn it. And we're going to open that up. It's going to be a float track, okay? And we're just going to call this door rot, okay, for rotation. And we're going to want it to open, I don't know how long, we'll use the last keyframe. We're going to have two keyframes, okay? One that's on 0, value 0, and another one that say is time 3 seconds, value 90, because we want the door to open like 90 degrees. And you notice I've got a line that's shooting way up, like I don't know how far up. If we want to see this graph kind of condensed so we can see all of our keyframes, just click these two buttons here. We can see our timeline over 3 seconds is going to move from 0 up to 90, okay? To make sure that it doesn't play longer than 5 or the 3 seconds, we can just say use last keyframe, okay? And that's it, we don't have to do anything else here. So when we walk into this, we want to play, okay? And then when we walk out of the box, we want it to close, so we're going to reverse it. Pretty simple. And what we're going to be playing and changing is the door. So get the door, and we're going to say set rotation, okay? And you'll notice it's going to be like set relative rotation. This is the one that we're going to use, because the rotation value itself is relative to the actual object, because it's a component. It's like a parent of the actual object itself. So let's bring this in. I'll kind of show you, because this is something that you should know. Let me get my door browse. So you'll notice here that my object rotation is 0, 0, 0. Okay, I can actually grab my door though, and I can rotate this so it's at -60, and that's its relative rotation. So like the object rotation is still 0, 0, 0, but the door's relative rotation to that is -60. So if we were to change the world rotation of this object, what will happen is the object will rotate and that invisible box will rotate as well. And we want that to stay, you know, where it is. Okay, so that's why we're using relative rotation. Now in the variable section, I did look at the rotation variable, which this is, and it's 3 different things, 3 different floats, and we only want to manipulate the Z. Look, if we come back to viewport here, and I go to my rotation tool, and I look at, it's the blue one that we want to rotate. Okay, we don't want to rotate it along its x-axis. That'd be kind of weird, not unless you're doing sci-fi or something like this. Okay, we want to do it on the Z, which is X is red, blue is Z, and green is Y. Okay, so we just want to get this, we want to get our float into this one, and to do that we've got to split this structure. Okay, it's called struct for short. So if we go to split struct pin, you can see now that we're going to get access to this rotation, which is on the yaw. Okay, so pitch is kind of like a plane, roll plane. Yaw is like if a plane was kind of going sideways, which is what we want for a door. So we get our update, we go into this, and we get our door rotation, and it goes into this. So whenever this is playing, the values are going to come up here, update this, but it's only ever going to happen if the player walks into that box. And then it's going to reverse it all. Okay, we can reverse it, but it's only ever going to do that if the player walks into this cast 2 node. So if we compile and save, let's get our door and bring it in. Press play. Okay, walk into it. It's opening. It's very slow. Let's go into our timeline. Let's make this value 1.5, so it's twice as fast. We don't have to change the length because it's only going to use the last keyframe. So perfect. So using this here last keyframe is great if you don't know what figure you're going to use and you're going to have to change it constantly, so you don't have to keep changing this length. Press play again. You know what, that's still slow. Let's make it like 0.5. Alright, let's try that. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. You know, we could maybe add a keyframe in here. So when it opens, maybe I'm going to show you some of it. I'm going to have this at 90 as well. But what I can do is I can change this to user, and I can grab the line. Oh, I have to change this one to user as well. I can grab the line here, so the value is kind of going to go up a bit and then come back down. So it'll kind of look like it's gone too far and then snap back a bit. It's nice, maybe a nice bit of animation to it. Okay, but yeah, you see that. So you see it went too far there. So that's it going up too far, and then it kind of comes back to 90. So you can just get a wee bit of extra animation into that, which is pretty cool. I can lessen that as well, and maybe put this a bit closer. So it's very, very subtle. There we go. Yeah, that's cool. And you'll notice, yeah, so when I walk out of it, it closes. There we go. So that's a door. Pretty easy to open, pretty easy to close.